and shit goes down basically. And then you have the fifth movie where they meet lots of other characters from the Resident Evil games, such as Baron. No, I can't remember what his name is. I think it's like Baron something from the first game. He works for Umbrella in the movies, and you meet my very favorite Resident Evil character of all time, who is actually also one of my all-time favorite fictional characters overall, Leon Scott Kennedy. He, for some reason, in the movies works for Umbrella Corporation instead for the police department in Raccoon City. So they switch up plenty for the characters and their backstories and their jobs and whatnot. But it's fine. I love the characters, and it's a really great movie. And there's some fighting between the characters in the fifth movie. And it's good. And the very last thing you see in Resident Evil Retribution, the fifth film, I'm gonna put up a picture here of one of the last scenes. This should work. There we go. There you have it. Basically, it ends with the bad guy of the series. He basically, Albert Wesker is his name, and he calls in Alice and her gang to his headquarters, to like the headquarters of what supposedly is like the last stand for humans or whatever. You know, it's like the last place where humans can actually like survive in. Is like a fortification basically, and they're basically preparing for trying to exterminate all the zombies so humans can rise once again or something like that. And that's where the fifth movie ends and the sixth movie will take place. Like, all these characters have teamed up together and shit's gonna go down probably, because that's always how it goes with these horror/action movies. So I'm really thrilled with what they will do with this. I'm excited, especially to see Leon in action. Like, if they kill off Leon, I'm gonna sue those bastards. Okay, I'm not really gonna sue them. The movie will be good even if he dies, but seriously, don't kill off Leon. He's my favorite character and he cannot die. None of those main characters can actually die, in my opinion. Partially because in the games, spoiler alert, almost none of these characters die. That's in the movies, and I just don't want to see them die. It's too much for me, too much for my little heart to take. So, have you watched the trailer yet?
Yes, I have, and it looks very interesting.
Yeah, when I watched it, I watched Angry Joe and Other Joe, as they have like this kind of trailer review/reaction thing where they watch they record themselves like face cam, and they watch trailers for something, and they watched this Resident Evil trailer, and then I watched this video, and then I got their opinions and what they thought, and I kind of agreed. For example, the editing in the trailer looks kind of choppy, and I don't understand what the fuck the beginning of the trailer was. That was kind of weird for anyone who's actually watched it. But yeah, I personally think, like, the only thing I was wondering during this, because they only showed like a handful of the actual characters, you know, who's gonna be in the movie. There's gonna be tons and tons of characters that's in the games that's gonna be teaming up together against the zombies in this movie, but you only saw like a handful of these characters, excluding all the biggest names from the games, who you did not see, except for like Jill Valentine, maybe. I'm not sure, but yeah. So that's one thing. If they ever release another trailer, which they probably will, I want to see a couple more characters. but don't spoil anything. Like, don't spoil it too much, and especially don't spoil any deaths, because there's bound to be deaths. And that's kind of my thoughts on the trailer. Otherwise, it looked good, and I'm excited. Do you have any other like thoughts on the trailer?
Well, you can't judge the movie by the trailer very it can your judgment cannot be very positive because you actually have to see the movie. So maybe from the trailer the starting part didn't make sense, but then again, if it would make sense, it would spoil the movie, wouldn't it?
No, but I mean like they like showed like 2 clips or so. Can't remember what the very first thing was. But then it was like a knife fight and was like choppy edited, and then it goes to the title, and it just felt kind of out of place having these 2 clips for like 5 seconds, and then the title, and then it goes back to like super slow kind of, in the trailer before there's like build up for action, if whatever I'm saying makes any sense at all.
Maybe.
Yeah, so I just kind of that's what I kind of mean. Like it felt very out of place there. They should have started with the title in that case, and then just moved on from there.
I assume so.
Maybe. Yeah, so
well, and when you said you don't want your favorite characters to die, it's Resident Evil. Someone always dies.
Yeah.
That's just impossible to exclude.
Oh wait, I'm just gonna check your Resident. Yeah, I'm gonna check up a character, Baron. I think it's Baron. No. What the fuck is his name then? If it's not Baron, God damn it. Oh well, anyways, it's this character who basically he's in the first Resident Evil game, and he does die in that game. And then in the movies, he's introduced in the 5th film, and he also dies there. So I don't know, things like that kind of. I don't know. It's that was. I just kind of wanted to bring that up for some reason. But it's. So have you watched the other movies and or played the games?
I haven't played a single game by Resident Evil because most of them were PlayStation or something else exclusive. I kind of have given up on trying to play them on computer, but I have seen I think all of the movies.
Okay. So what do you kind of think of the franchise as a whole then? The movies.
The entire Resident Evil franchise is a gigantic boost for the entire zombie kind of franchises of all zombie movies. Resident Evil is the main one that just put the zombies out there. That is such an interesting topic to make movies about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like in my opinion, Resident Evil is the original, the real deal when it comes to zombie movies. And it all started with Resident Evil 1, of course, and it was made perfectly, in my opinion. Like entire Resident Evil franchise movies, they all are continuing of a story. They're not random. There's like everything that is put by piece into a huge book, pretty much.
Yeah. So as you said there, everything started with Resident Evil, the first game, and the first game took lots of inspiration from George O. Romero's what was it? Day of the Dead? No wait. Not Day of the Dead. Night of the Living Dead, I think it was. And those zombies were like, they were slow, they were dumb, they couldn't really do anything. They were kind of hard to kill yet easy to kill, and you could like fool them, I guess, and burn them and whatnot, and so that was a good thing. So something that I came up with, not came up with, but basically, so in the games, we have the T virus. And for you who don't know what the T virus is, a little backstory is, and it's the same story for the movies as it is in the games. that starts off this whole thing. At least with the T virus. Basically, there's this Umbrella. I think it works for Umbrella. I cannot remember, but it's this like professor, and he basically his daughter is like in a wheelchair, something like that, and this daughter, he wants to make her walk again, right? So he's trying his very hardest to come up with some sort of serum or something that can make her walk again. And what he comes up with is the T virus. He injects her with this. She is able to finally walk, but soon after she starts to transform into a zombie. And basically, I honestly can't remember what happens in the games, like how people starts getting affected and how it comes out, but in the movies it's explained that it's a thief who basically comes into to steal the T virus from Umbrella Corporation because they heard about this virus and they want to take it themselves and experiment and whatnot to, I don't know, do God knows what with it. This thief, when he grabs the virus, he basically accidentally drops it, and the virus spreads through the air, through the ventilation system, throughout the entire facility of the Umbrella Corp's underground base or facility, and people starts getting gets infected with the virus, and this, I don't know, and the computer AI of this facility basically notices this airborne thing, and the AI, which is the Red Queen, that's what she's called, she basically closes all exits, all doors and everything, and then releases a deadly gas to kill every single person in this facility in order to contain the virus, because the AI knows the virus cannot escape. And in the movie, because that's what I'm talking about right now, they basically enter this mansion which is on top of this facility, and they break into the facility and they meet the zombies, and horror, they meet all these, well, zombies, blah blah blah, and that's how, and then zombies obviously escape and whatnot, and that's basically the premise of Resident Evil franchise, for the movies at least. And as I started off by saying there, it starts off with the T virus, but then there's mutations of the T virus as well as other viruses like the G virus. So it gets pretty complicated with all these things. And as I started off, where I was going with this basically was that in the games it's very good explained in different ways. How did this zombie become mutated to this? Why is this thing a monster that's not a human, but it's instead this? Like, in the games it's better explained, and in the movies they instead go with, now all these zombies, they just start mutating, and now they can run. It's like the 4th movie now, so every fucking zombie, they can run. And there's even some zombies who is even more mutated, so they can do fucking parkour and fucking open up tentacles from their mouth and whatnot. So it's so basically, from the games, when they have different kinds of zombies and a couple of mutations, to the movies where they just went with the idea like, fuck everything, the regular zombies who walk and they are brain dead, they start mutating, they become smart, and they can fucking run. That's what they go with the movies. It works, but it's not as clever as the games, in my opinion.
Okay then.
Yes, as you can hear, I have lots of to say. I can just talk on and on forever about this.
Alright.
Yeah, it's really fun.
What are your main expectations of the new movie?
Ooh, that be okay. So the first movie, it was